team is looking to claim some early real estate towards this POI.
I think they heard you, because as you said, 7, another team floated. Wait for us. We want to join the party as well. And there's so many others in the outskirts. So for Chino and Pablo, they kind of have a little bit of advantage here. They were the first to set their flag at this POI. So every team that rotates in therereafter will not know exactly where they're at, what builds are theirs. So you got to be very, very cognizant of getting caught off guard.
Size and Scary, they are one duo that is yet to throw their name into the hat for contention over by Sandy Strip. They're still hanging out near Builders Barracks, and Size, Scary, the Spaniards hoping to try and represent, but at the same time, Jacob, coming from that EU nation, they've had a lot of experience with dealing with aggressive fighting styles, and yet still here today, sitting at only 20 points.
Yeah, and I'm not too worried just yet. This is game 3, so by the time this one's over, that's when you really look at the leaderboard and see how much the point thresholds control your destiny. But coming into this one, I was thinking, okay, you need 3 decent performances maybe to get top 25, 2 pop-off games, or in some cases, if you're Yapko, Panzer, Cold Rapid, or Acorn and Bolts, you might just need 1.
Peterbot and Pollo back and forth between POIs, right? They continue to try to find some sort of successful aggression. As you can see right there, 1 elimination on Peterbot right now. I did see off screen that's actually gonna come off of the back of a reboot, so they were fully aware of the opportunity with that. And I did have sort of like a drive-by conversation with Fax today. I was like, dude, we gotta be feeling good, right? Back-to-back NA wins. He was just like, dude, I want Peterbot and Pollo to get in the mix though.
Yeah, this is just so tough though, because they are looking to get involved, but sadly, Minutes, Alco, the last thing that they ever wanted to see is Peterbot and Pollo barreling down on their position. Cammy and Hadi still hanging out by the lighthouse though tells me that they're just gonna be looking to trail P and Pollo. They're not going to allow them to freely rotate, and that's gonna potentially be a thorn in the side there for P and Pollo later on.
Yeah, huge annoyance, because they're a team that, you kind of said it yourself when you were talking to Fax, they like to get aggressive. We want to see them get aggressive. But this isn't just an NAFNCS. This is the best of the entire world when it comes to Fortnite. You're not going to get the same opportunities. Those windows will be smaller, and I think they're learning that with each and every game goes by, and that's why you think you see a huge drastic change out of the game plan in Game 3 for Peterbot and Pollo.
Yeah, and keep a close eye on all of these teams like Noah and Reason, who actually went ahead. They left Sandy a little bit earlier on, right? We did see them kind of base up on one of those tall buildings. As you can see on the north side of zone as it currently stands, what do we have? 4 duos kind of posted up here, ready to catch all of those rotates from all of those Sandy teams that we just kind of talked about. Because the zone pulls a little bit further south, all of those teams are eventually going to have to leave Sandy, which provides a great opportunity for anybody that left early to kind of base up and get all of the damage that they might need.
Reason just being proactive, shooting out trees, preventing other duos from having the opportunity to hide behind that natural terrain coverage. Curve and Veno, though, entirely different strategy. They're still hanging out in Battlewood Boulevard. They're hoping to see if they can pick up some additional points here off the eliminations, and they might just find exactly what they're after. Hamed trying to escape. Thinks there's nowhere left to run as Veno just easily clears those 2 out with Curve.
Yeah, that's one thing I've learned on NA when Veno won his inter-regional championship from EU and NA is you don't mess with the guy in his drop spot. Multiple times in that major final, teams were trying to steal away his loot. He just chased them down and send them packing back to the lobby, which kind of helped his game plan because of Surge. But not everybody has that luxury being uncontested. Muzz and Sphinx know that to be a fact. Nebs and Nathan are contesting them off drop. It does seem like in this game they're splitting it, but what does that do to their loadout and their confidence?
Little check-in here with Pablo and Chino. We know that they land Sandy Strip, 280 damage above right now. They're going for some control. They're going for a little bit of a sneaky play onto some players, but everybody in the surrounding area is taking full advantage. They've done big damage on the Pablo and Chino. They're going to be forced to refresh right now. When we tune into them, they were 260 above, but as soon as they went ahead and took that fight, seemingly took about 100 damage, and their net surge dropped by just that.
Ager's Ritual, they might have been one of those duos involved. possibly even Ukun and Minifio. Shots were definitely exchanged. I don't even think it was Dharma and Demish. They just immediately coned themselves off, prevented those tags are gonna be through, but Pixie won't be able to weather the storm. Can Swizzy fare any better here? Still getting lit up by these surge tags. He has to find a full elimination, 192 below. He knows that there are players fighting nearby, but will he actually have a chance to strike?
Yeah, and he's officially on a clock. He has about 130 of HP to heal in this situation, which is not much. We're in the 5th zone. Now he's taken behind. It's going to go 2 to a 5 tick and active surge. All that damage is going to start to add up, and he is still below the damage threshold. 346. That's almost essentially 2 eliminations here that Swizzy needs to get by himself with his back pushed up against the wall. Even further now is Doxy, maybe Xpon as well, are trying to get elimination of their own.
Yes, Barry, no opportunity to go ahead and let Swizzy get any damage here as they're going to be using the overdrive grenades to go ahead and disengage. That is worst case scenario for Swizzy. For somebody that needs to do 300 damage, you want to be close, you want to be personal, because the shotgun is going to be your best friend. But as you can see right now, the chase is on. Not only does he need to go ahead and pick up both of these eliminations seemingly right now, but he needs to get in the zone. Finally, a tag comes in, 12 HP to work with, 2 ticks left. Swizzy's going to be going down.
There were only so many places left for Swizzy to actually venture through, and Doxy Xpon, they just played that one excellently. They knew that he was trapped. He had nowhere left to run to, and just like that, we're right back here at Sandy Strip, and the cube is going to be his worst nightmare right now for Minifio. It sent everyone flying, but Chino, what kind of aim course is he running over here?
I need his routine right now. That was one of the most insane things I've seen in quite a while. Not only getting the knock mid-air, but cleaning up the eliminations, and that is exactly why they land at Sandy Strip. They know teams will float around and try to use that as a mode of rotation. We've seen multiple teams, not just then, get caught out because of it.
Super hard to make those rotations when there are just so many teams around. Speaking of hard rotations, Peterbot and Pollo landed all the way on the west side of the map, had to make their way all the way over here to Sanctuary. That being said, I feel like they found themselves in a very favorable position. 500 damage above, as I say that, drop that down to 300. But they have pretty much the higher ground secured as it currently stands. We know they love to play higher ground taco. Can they actually hold on to this throughout the rest of the game?
This is definitely the best sort of position that we have seen Peterbot and Pollo all 3 games so far today. Sky Scroll, on the other hand, though, way off in the distance, separated from the rest of the lobby, trying to see if they can just break in to the edge of zone, hoping that they get a chance to try and take out any duos that might be looking to try and cut them off, but instead will find a